Happy Sunday, Midlands. It's been another stormy day as we've had some showers and thunderstorms pop up here within the last couple hours. That is producing some flooding again in portions of the Midlands. We'll continue to track that here for the rest of this evening, but then our focus will turn towards the upcoming work week as we begin to track Tropical Storm Debby and the impacts it could bring to us here locally, especially as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for the possibility of some flooding rains as we've now made those 3 days first alert weather days, because that's when we're expecting the worst of the impacts to make its way into the Midlands. So again, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is when we're expecting the worst. Some of those strong downpours, flash flooding will be possible, and mixed in and with that as well, we also could have some 40 to 50 mile an hour wind gusts. And so with the ground getting saturated, that could help to bring down some big trees. So storm damage could also be a factor with this over the coming days, but flooding looks to be our biggest concern that we're going to be tracking here as the impacts of Debby begin to make their way towards South Carolina. But as I mentioned, within the last hour or two, we've had this round of showers and thunderstorms really start to fire up here in the Midlands, and it's been over the areas that got hardest hit yesterday, so it's not really helping out a whole lot, especially North Richland County out towards southern Fairfield and Kershaw County. That's where we have a flash flood warning due to the heavy showers falling on very saturated ground. That flash flood warning continues until 8:15 this evening, mainly for that area between, I would say, Two Notch and Blythewood, right along 77 and Interstate 20 out towards Pontiac and Elgin into Kershaw County. You can see that's where some intense downpours are falling right now, and those spots picked up 5 to 6 inches and dealt with flooding yesterday. And so it doesn't take much on that saturated and wet of ground to get more flooding to occur, so watch out for that for the remainder of this evening. And then back to our west over into Lexington and Saluda County, we're also watching at some pretty hefty storms kind of making their way over the lake and heading for downtown Lexington. So keep that in mind. We'll have to watch out for some of these the rest of this evening. Big picture, though, you can see some outer bands beginning to kind of head down towards the Hilton Head area from Debby. The yellow into Georgia, that's tropical storm warnings, while the pink is tropical storm watches, which extend all the way up to Charleston due to Debby beginning to make its way here in the next 48 to 72 hours. We'll really start to feel the impacts from it. Right now, Debby's still just a tropical storm, winds up to 65 miles per hour, but it has just been hammering Florida with a deluge of rain. Some spots have already picked up 4 to 6 inches, causing widespread flooding, especially on the west side of Florida, from Fort Myers up to the Tampa area, but also inward up towards Orlando and making it towards Gainesville now, and even down south towards Miami. So it has just been a devastating day for Florida, dealing with all the heavy rain from Debby moving inland. They've also been dealing with some storm surge along the west coast and into the Key West. So it's been packing a punch so far. Here's again the latest information from the National Hurricane Center, having it with those winds of 65 miles per hour moving to the north at 12. The National Hurricane Center does expect it to still strengthen later on tonight and into Monday morning, possibly becoming a Category 1 hurricane with winds up to 85 to 90 miles an hour as it makes landfall along the Big Bend with those very powerful gusts sometime late Monday morning into early Monday afternoon. It should then weaken down to a tropical storm late Monday into Tuesday as it gets into Georgia, and we'll continue to track that for this evening. And then it kind of heads towards the coast Tuesday as a tropical storm with winds 45 to 50 miles per hour, lingers there into Wednesday before then moving back over South Carolina on Thursday and eventually heading into North Carolina on Friday, beginning to bring us the end of some rain. So let's take a look at the Euro showing the latest with this. Again, Tropical Storm Debby, possibly a hurricane by tomorrow as it makes landfall in the Big Bend of Florida, with those outer bands beginning to make its way into South Carolina sometime tomorrow afternoon. But by the time we get into Tuesday, it's now down towards Savannah, and we'll start to really feel the impacts of Debby here locally. I think Tuesday is when we could have the heaviest rains, 1 to 3 inches for most of the Midlands, and we could start to get some of those gustier winds, 40 to 50 miles per hour. As mentioned, Wednesday it maybe shifts a little offshore, taking the worst of it closer to the coast, and we might get just a touch of a break here in the Midlands to let things dry up before then it shifts back on shore on Thursday, bringing us, you can see those darker yellows back into the Midlands with some more rounds of heavy rain. So we're really going to be looking at flooding concerns due to the persistent rounds of heavy rain Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, which is why those are our first alert weather days. Also on Thursday, as that low moves closer to us, the gusts are going to pick up again, and that could cause some storm damage as it does move through. By Friday, it's beginning to lift north, still some wraparound showers possible. And then by Saturday, finally, it starts to move away, and we can get some drier weather to move in to allow things to dry out. So you can see this is going to be a multiple-day impact for us here across South Carolina with the heaviest rains down towards the coast, but even here in the Midlands, could be looking at substantial rainfall totals. So let's take a look at some of those totals. 10 to 15 inches is possible, with some localized spots maybe approaching 20 inches from Hilton Head to Charleston as you get up into the PD and out towards Orangeburg. Calhoun, Clarendon, and Sumter County, 7 to 10 inches will be possible here over the next week, while Columbia and up to the north, we're looking at about 3 to 7 inches of rain. Still enough to cause some flooding concerns, but historic flooding could be possible out towards the coast from Hilton Head to Charleston, where they see the highest amount. So let's get a zoomed-in look, kind of showing what we're talking about. So scattered showers tonight, but it should be dying out overnight. Some beginning showers down towards the coast and making its way into Orangeburg and maybe up towards St. Matthews tomorrow morning. But you can see the bulk of it stays to our south in the low country. We could still get a few passing showers, but we're thinking tomorrow looks kind of similar to today. A large portion might even be on the drier side. Winds will pick up a little bit, 10 to 20 miles per hour, with just some hit or miss showers throughout the day on Monday. But look what happens as we go into late Monday and especially into Tuesday. That's when the heavier showers begin to move in, and it's going to be persistent heavy rain throughout the day. And you can see those gusts now picking up. We could have some gusts as high as 50 out towards Sumter, 43 here in Columbia. So it's not only going to be raining, it's going to be windy. We're going to really start to feel Debby come Tuesday, and this is where we could see again some of our biggest flooding concerns throughout the day on Tuesday as they just persist consistently throughout the day with those gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour with the heavy bands moving into the region. Even continues into Tuesday night. Some spots may be let up overnight into Wednesday, but this is what I'm talking about. Wednesday, we maybe get a little bit of a break or some breaks in the rain with the heaviest down closer to the low country. This could allow us to maybe get that brief window to dry up a little bit before that next round moves in on Thursday as the low then tracks through South Carolina and up into North Carolina. So your 10-day forecast tomorrow, 60% chance for some scattered showers and storms in the afternoon, 84 for a high. And then we have the first alert weather days Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, because that's when we're expecting the worst of the impacts to impact us with rain chances 80 to 100%. The heaviest rains likely Tuesday and Thursday, with some of the gustier winds both of those days as well, up to 50 miles per hour. Friday, still some lingering showers, but then again by Saturday and into Sunday, we could finally start to dry up with temperatures getting back into the 90s. So yes, a lot going on, so you're definitely going to want to head over to our website. We have multiple articles up describing all the possible impacts that could be heading our way for the Midlands. So if you need to check anything out and get all the latest information, head over to wistv.com and check out one of our several articles that we have up detailing all the impacts that could be heading our way from Tropical Storm Debby over this upcoming work week.